L5 on your side continues this afternoon in storm alert. There's not a whole lot happening for most of us at this point, but that anticipation is there for the potential of some really intense thunderstorms to develop between now and say 8 or 9 o'clock tonight for parts of the area. Right now, one severe thunderstorm warning. It is this cell that is down into southwestern Washington County at this point. So let's take a closer look at it, get into it. Severe thunderstorm warning. This is mainly issued for hail. Actually, I'm going to go back to that. And here's kind of a zoomed in part of this. This is north of Highway C here. You're in Washington County. It's moving up to the northeast. So it looks like the majority of the hail producing part of this storm is probably going to stay just west of Potosi based on what we're seeing right now. So, you know, it's decreasing, but there's still the potential there could be some hail with this. Here's what we're concerned about is this moving into an environment that's, you know, favorable for intense thunderstorms to develop. And this is going to come into the southern parts of the metro area along a little after 2 o'clock down towards DeSoto and Hillsborough and in towards Festus, Peevely and Arnold towards 3 o'clock this afternoon. So while the overall trend seems to be for this weakening a little bit, that hail core is not as tall as it was. We're still watching this because it's an environment that's favorable for storms to get intense and do so quickly. If that's going to happen as it moves into Jefferson County, can't tell you for sure. We don't know. We have to wait to see how all the ingredients come together. What we do know is it's warmed into the mid-70s for most of us this afternoon because of that sunshine we had this morning that we really didn't need, didn't want to see, but we now have some clouds back into St. Louis. Gusty winds are out of the south. The expectation is there's going to be at least scattered strong to severe thunderstorms moving across the area in more than one wave. What's out there right now could be some more development with that, then a few more scattered showers and thunderstorms possible, and then you get more of a broken line of thunderstorms right ahead of the front. And these potentially could be supercell thunderstorms, and all supercells produce severe weather. They all produce large hail or damaging winds, and some of them produce long track tornadoes. Now, as we head towards 8, 9 o'clock, you can see it's moving out of our area, but it becomes more of a solid line of thunderstorms. So again, what's happening right now, you have your one severe thunderstorm warning in Washington County. The lightning with that's actually decreased a little bit. You have some other thunderstorms that are moving in across southern Reynolds County down into portions of Madison County, Missouri. The area along Interstate 57 not showing any signs of severe weather there yet. Your severe weather potential increases a little later this afternoon. And then we watch the storms out in mid-Missouri as they'll be tracking off to the east. So right now, going to the north and northwest of St. Louis, we had the cell that went just north of Pike County. That went up towards the Quincy-Hannibal area, some large hail with that. This one producing potentially some larger hail down towards Potosi, although the trend is, and we're looking with that with the Weather Service, and you know, that supercell has, actually they're going to cancel the warning down here. So as you see, it's kind of fizzling just a little bit. So it's a strong storm, but it's no longer severe. So that severe thunderstorm warning, that's coming out. And again, we'll keep watching what goes through. Our hope is that in some cases, maybe a few of these showers and thunderstorms that pop up and early ahead of the front before the best of the dynamics or the best of the ingredients come together, maybe tend to stabilize or mix things up so that it doesn't end up being terrible later today. But this is a particularly dangerous situation tornado watch. Those PDS tornado watches are very rare. I can't remember the last one that was issued in St. Louis, but it's been a long time since we've had that in the metro area. So let's get to 2:15 or so this afternoon. We've added 2 of the high-resolution computer models that we look at here. They all have a similar flavor. None of them will be perfect this afternoon with exact tracks of where the storms are and what's going on. But we will be looking at the potential of some of these storms creating some significant severe weather. And the ingredients are all there. And that's the one thing we're looking at. You have the strong winds aloft. You have strong gusty winds at the surface. And if you go from the surface and keep going up, they're already twisting and they're already increasing in height. So you have your wind shear that you need. you have much of the instability. The moisture has grown. It's somewhat muggy in St. Louis, dew points around or a little above 60 degrees. So as this is working in and that energy comes in from the west, it's working with those conditions and creating scattered thunderstorms this afternoon. This is the expectation around 4 o'clock that most of the action here is along and west of the Mississippi River. Now, there'll still be a few storms off to the east. Some of those could be intense, but again, as we go through time here, we expect to see these showers and thunderstorms continuing to move through. And after we get past about 8 o'clock tonight, most of it should be off to the east of St. Louis. So Storm Prediction Center put this very rare high risk, that's a level 5 out of 5, up over northeast Missouri, east central portions of Missouri, and then going farther down to the south into Arkansas. But really right along the Mississippi River and to the east. So from about Metro St. Louis and to the east, we're still in a level 4 out of 5 risk. And that's why this PDS, particularly dangerous situation tornado watch, is in effect. So this afternoon, it's at this point, we're watching the storms. We want you to watch with us. And, we're going to keep you safe through the afternoon hours. But know your plan. Make sure you have a safe place to get to as these storms continue to roll through the area this afternoon and develop. Some of them are going to grow to severe levels. Just how severe and how bad it ends up becoming, we're going to have to wait and see when the ingredients come together in any individual storm. The cold front itself is still well back to our west. All these storms are racing northeast. They'll be moving at about 60 to 65 miles per hour. So until one of them becomes severe and gets kind of rooted in that real unstable air close to the ground where the winds can interact with all of that that's being lifted up into the cloud, the question then becomes, so, what are we dealing with here with those storms? And, until that actually happens, we're going to see what we're seeing now, a random storm here that becomes strong to severe and potentially, until they become a little more organized, they're not going to be widespread severe weather makers. By the way, this is a blizzard up into South Dakota, part of the same storm system. Blizzard up that way, severe thunderstorm threat down to the south. Also watching this area here down in Arkansas that's going to go into west portions of Tennessee, as well as northwest Mississippi, an area that saw some really rough weather last Friday night. So again, once we get done with the severe thunderstorms, this is 10 o'clock tonight. Look at our wind gusts, 35 to 40 miles per hour. There's a wind advisory overnight because these wind gusts will gust 45 to 55 miles per hour perhaps. Some of the open areas like up at Smart Field and out in Madison County where it's very open, you may have some of those 50 to 55 mile per hour wind gusts. That in and of itself is going to produce some scattered power outages. We had a few early this morning because of those gusty winds. So there'll be some more tree branches that come down and we're going to have problems just because of the gusty winds as we head through this afternoon. So our big thought right now is that there's nothing imminent. Your Weather First team is here. We're in storm alert. There's the storm that's moving in towards Potosi. It's weakened considerably here in the last few minutes. In fact, the hail core has kind of dropped off the map here, if you will. That's why that severe thunderstorm warning was canceled heading through this afternoon. So again, there's the storm, the only storm that could impact the metro area at this point, just kind of broadening it out. It'll be racing in just a little bit. Those storms off to the east of us, they've tended to get a little stronger here as they get east of Interstate 57. Probably the biggest threat from these would be a bit of hail out of those storms as they continue to roll off towards the east. So we're going to keep you updated throughout the afternoon hours here. The tornado watch is in effect for the entire area except Clay County until 8 o'clock tonight, and it is a particularly dangerous situation tornado watch, which means the potential of more violent tornadoes and stronger tornadoes is certainly there. There's nothing imminent at this point, but know your safe place. As many walls between you and the outside as possible. Basements are best, but if you don't have a basement, no worries. Just go to the lowest level on whatever floor you're on and just be prepared, okay? And, if you live in a mobile home or manufactured home, they're not designed to take the kind of storms that we potentially could see this afternoon. So have a plan where you can get to a more substantial building that will protect you. The mobile homes and manufactured homes, if we have EF2 tornadoes, they're not going to withstand that at all. Meanwhile, the convenience store down the street, the building across the way that's open, stores, little stores, they'd be better and more secure areas to get to in the event that we have to get there this afternoon. So we're going to keep you posted. We'll keep you updated throughout the afternoon. Nothing imminent as far as tornadoes go right now, but that watch in effect until 8 o'clock tonight. And so we'll be here in the Weather First Weather Center. Gary Frank is here. Tracy Hinson's out. In fact, I think we've got her storm track picture. She's out in the storm tracker right now. And so we've been kind of watching what she's seeing this afternoon, which so far hasn't been a whole lot. Those clouds are growing across the area. And so far, it doesn't seem to be a big problem for us at the moment. But that's subject to change. And, you know, as such, we're going to keep you updated on that as we go through the remainder of the afternoon hours. So, yeah, it's one of those things where we sit and we wait and we hope for the best, but we can't, you know, we don't know what we don't know. And right now, you see there's some more storms that are developing back here in the mid-Missouri. All of them have severe thunderstorm warnings. They're going to go northeast. So, you know, most of that's going to stay to the west. Everything that you got to worry about today is going to come from your southwest. So that's where we are right now. All right, we're going to let you go for now. Just know we'll be here on 5 Plus, KSDK.com. We know some schools have dismissed early this afternoon. Some have canceled plans for the overnight or evening plans so that we don't have any kids at risk. And, you know, good decisions. Good decisions by all. We'll keep you posted, everyone.